Duane Moody has the following story.
After several years and as many attempts made on his life, tonight Roaring Creek's so-called crime boss, Russell Hyde, is dead. The 45-year-old businessman and his 28-year-old companion, Marcy, were killed on his farm near Society Hall, Camalote Village, on Friday night. Along with a third person, Hyde and Humes were ambushed by at least 3 gunmen who were dressed in dark clothes and carrying flashlights as they drove up to Russell's house.
In a feeder road, the residence of Mr. Russell Hyde, we observed one female with apparent gunshot wounds to the chest area and the leg. She was transported to the Western Regional Hospital, where she succumbs to her injuries. A search of the immediate area found the body of Russell Hyde, and apparently dead. So he was transported to the Western Regional Hospital also, and he was officially pronounced dead. No.
Well, the young man that was along with him, which was the third person, I think he gave information more or less, so that when they drove up by the house, it tell Rosalie says it 3 person in a dark clothing coming, he said, make her run. Well, Russell never run, but he started to run, and after when they mostly attacking, then he started to run and they shoot him in the back.
And that's when they shot both Russell and the young lady?
Shot Russell in the back, and after he dropped it, looked like he gun and finished him in the face.
The gunmen then reportedly turned their weapons on a screaming Humes and ended her life. The well-known hair braider in the village was not a troublemaker, but was caught up with the wrong person.
By the time we reached the hospital, she was already dead. Because she gets 7 shots, one first in the leg and then a lot in the stomach area, but the main one is right above her breast that the doctor claimed killed her.
While he would meet a vicious end on Friday night at his residence, in the past 3 months, there have been a string of murders associated to Russell Hyde. On May 17th, his common-law wife, 43-year-old ROSALIE Galvez, was fatally shot in the head as he traveled in a black Toyota truck. She was in the passenger seat of a vehicle driven at the time by Hyde when the vehicle was sprayed by a gunman.
Upon reaching the curve before Costa Park, one gunman come out and fire a shot and hit my wife, so I pick up more speed and I took her to the hospital, and shortly after I reached,
I knew right away that from looking at her, seeing her, I know that she wouldn't have made it, and I know the doctors and the nurses at the hospital tried their best. I saw what they were doing in the emergency room. I'm very much appreciative of their efforts, and she succumbed shortly after. You know, she didn't even get an opportunity to get into the ambulance, as you know, it was a serious injury because of the shots.
Exactly 1 week later, Hyde's lieutenant was reportedly missing, and on May 26th, the body of 28-year-old Edilberto Madrid was retrieved from the Belize River off the Valley of Peace Road. Madrid had been butchered, decapitated, disemboweled, and dismembered. Within 24 hours, another dismembered body, that of 51-year-old Roaring Creek resident Stephen Deeds Hyde, was found in a shallow grave at a farm belonging to Hyde in Camalote. Stephen, who was his cousin, lived on the farm where his body was found.
They found his body. He had missing hands, missing foot, but they found all his pieces.
In a shallow grave right here?
In a shallow grave, already buried.
All right. Now, can you give me an idea? There was a murder just similar, they found the body in a similar condition just yesterday. What's the connection between the two men?
Well, the connection there, Stephen Hyde and those, they were best friends, and they were associates with Russell Hyde. And at the time, they were hanging out with Russell Hyde.
But as Roaring Creek reeled in the wake of the bloodbath, Russell and 2 others were detained by police as suspects in the string of murders. They were later released. Nonetheless, it appeared that the ongoing feud did not let up, and 3 weeks ago, on August 11th, Russell's sister, niece, and her boyfriend were viciously killed at their Southwest Street home in Lehigh Acres, Florida. Derla Pitts, Starlet Pitts, and Michael Kelly Jr. were reportedly killed by Brian Hyde, a cousin of Russell, who had been living with them for 7 months. But was Brian a sleeper cell activated in the wake of the homicides back in Belize? Sir, we understand that a relative is currently in detention and is being questioned on the triple murder in the U.S. Does this come as a shock to you, or even like a stab in the back that it's one of your own people, one of your own relatives that could be the perpetrator in this crime?
Well, it come to my shock because I couldn't believe that they won, which I'm not sure as yet. You see, I just rumor over here, so I wouldn't put it to such a big consideration because I don't know if they Hindu it or what. But I heard from the news.
At this present time, we cannot establish if this is connected to those crimes that occurred. But our investigation continues, and we are looking at all angles at this time to see if there's any connection in this crime.
In 3 months, 11 persons directly related to Russell Hyde have been murdered, according to the eldest brother, Alvin Hyde Jr. Of the 13 siblings, only 5 brothers and 1 sister remain alive. 6 died from violent crimes, while 1 perished in a fatal accident.
Things happen. Tragedy happens amongst the family, like the militia started last time, right? Within the family that happened. And starting with my second brother, John, by gun, he just shot a bell can. Then who else? I think it was Judge Michael. He get shot at Sokots. He get shot by police. And then I think he went to, who else? James Hyde. Then from there, Randolph. Well, like I say, each one we have one life where we live, and we carry on with the life. Apart from that, like the reason why this happened, I can't say.
But around 9:30 p.m. on Friday, and days after the burial of his sister and niece, Russell was murdered. Humes, who was reportedly romantically involved with Russell, was killed and 1 person got away. But where is he, and is he cooperating with the police?
We haven't established a motive in this murder. What we are looking for, 1 person, a witness in connection with this murder, who was with Russell Hyde and Miss Marcy Humes at the time of their death, who can give us more information in regards to the shooting of these individuals.
Police have not disclosed the name of the 3rd person with Hyde, and his whereabouts are not known. But was Russell Hyde led to his death? More importantly, does the seemingly unrelenting bloodbath in Roaring Creek end with Hyde's demise?
Well, I personally, I'm not afraid, because I do nobody nothing. I don't have no kind of enemy that do anything, and I don't a person who believe in a God. And if you don't do nothing, I don't think somebody could come and just shut you for nothing.
Duane Moody for News 5.
So while there are no arrests,